That were quick, wasn't it?
Hey, it's been half an hour. Well, 31 actually. I always wait to 31 and we'll crack on. Right, this will be the second one then. That one's just uploading the now. So, the only thing that's a bit annoying with this DAF, apart from it being a DAF and not Scania, is it seems to take a short eternity to fire up. You know, you turn ignition on and it seems to take a couple of split seconds to kick in and engage and fire up, and it can be a bit frustrating, that. Anyway, let's get going then. We've just come through Selkirk on the last video, so the next one is from Selkirk here. Come on, through Selkirk. Well, we've come through Selkirk. That's that away. So on this particular video now, we shall basically head off towards Hawick. We'll come through Hawick.
Follow A7 for 6.5 miles.
From Hawick, we'll drop down to Langholm. We'll come through Langholm. It's a nice tight little spot, is Langholm. And that'll be it for us for videoing for today. We'll then pull up to the side of Langholm. We'll end the video and I'll crack on with the rest of my day, get into Silliff and blah 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 blah. That knows what I mean. Yeah? Yeah. That's the plan. Anyway, hope we stick to it. Some mirrors. Wind's picking up a little bit now, and as I said to you on the last video, there's quite a few heavy grey clouds knocking about here now, so I think we're going to have some showers. I already see a couple of spits of rain just touching windscreen here, just, you know, flashing an ankle at the weekend, and considering it's only Monday, I think it's a bit cheeky of them, but there you go. Just dropping down this hill now. Our next stop will be Hawick. Then from there we'll run it carry on down the A7 and we'll run down to Langholm. Right on the border with England. Next one after Langholm, I think it's Canterbury. Is it Canterbury or Canoby? I think it's Canterbury. And from there we run into Longtown and you're back in England then. And now our next stop from here, I'll be Hawick. Then from Hawick, as I say, we'll run into Langholm where we'll end this video and I'll carry on with the rest of my day. This is the A7 basically now, running us all the way back down into Carlisle, where I live. All the way back down to my neck of the woods, Carlisle, the last city in England. We're 7 miles from Hawick and we're 30 miles to Langholm, so that'll do me. Trouble is, when you decide you're packing in smoking and you do 12 hours without a cigarette, well, above 12 hours, I've done about 13 hours now without a cigarette. I had my last one about 9:45 last night. It's now 5:11 the following day. The trouble is, you end up with bits of shit coming off your chest when you start, coughing up, like, you just end up with little bits of shit coming up off your chest for the first few days. Whereas as the truck comes past, it didn't half blow a gale then. I hope I stick to it, because they're not doing me any favours, they really aren't. They're costing me a fortune and they're slowly killing you. I've smoked for about 34 years, me though. Most of my life. I've smoked for more of my life than I haven't, if that makes sense. I first started smoking at the age of 13. I'm now 47, pushing 48. I'll be 48 in September. So how long's that? I've smoked for 13, 24, 34, 23, 33, 43, that's 30 years, plus 4, because I'm 47, is 34 years, yeah, 34 years. Coming up 35 years I've been a smoker. Which is a bloody long time, isn't it? It's the majority of my life. I've smoked longer than I haven't, if that makes sense. All my life I've been a a smoker for 34 years. It's a long time. Wow. I have packed in a couple of times and I've managed to, the longest I've managed is 6.5 weeks, just shy of 7 weeks. I was just coming up to week 7 and I started again. Wife was getting on my nerves and I went out in a bit of a hump, bit of a strop. I was gagging for a cig and I just bought a packet of cigs. I had 2 one after the other. Then I went for a pint and ended up out on piss for a couple of hours. And then that was it, I was smoking. Well, I might as well finish this packet off. And then I said, I love you, mate. Declared me undying love for a hot folk. Come on, fucking bladdered. Walked up in morning and I thought, well, I might as well finish this packet of cigs. And I did, and that was it, we're back smoking again. Easy done. Well, actually, that was me back on the cigarettes and come off the backy. And I ended up buying a packet of cigarettes because I didn't want to buy a pack of backy. Well, if I buy a pack of backy, I'll end up smoking again. I'll buy a packet of cigarettes, that'll be alright. Jesus Christ, bloody price, £12 odd. I ended up smoking a packet of cigarettes because I'm not wasting these. That was it. I was on cigs then. I've never been back on backy since, and that was probably about 6 months ago. I've been smoking cigs again. But hopefully this is it this time. I hope. Look at that beautiful view now, see. Can you see any of that? It's bloody stunning. It's mirrors as the truck comes through. Just back him off a touch. Back on that exhaust brake. Beautiful up here. There's a fella I used to watch on YouTube called the Fell Wanderer. I don't think he's done anything for a while. I think his name's Damien. He's from over Newcastle way, why man? He talks that kind. I mean, it's a big bloody area. He could be from anywhere right there. But he ends up doing some videos where he's gone into woods camping. And I think he's in these kind of places. I think he's up in Wark Forest, mate. Them's the kind of places I've been to on chipper jobs, and I think that's where he does them from, up there in like sort of Wark Forest and that. You're out in the middle of nowhere, abandon your car somewhere and off you fuck, you know what I mean? Nobody's going to mind you, and I think that's where he does them from. But it just puts me in mind when I'm looking at scenery like this of Damien from the Fell Wanderer. He's done art fells and that, and he's another one. He's one of them. He doesn't monetise his channel. I think he's about 15,000 subscribers or something, but he's not money orientated. He obviously works full time anyway, doesn't need the money, and he's not all about views and bloody adverts, fleecing people. He just puts the video up, his channel isn't monetised, there's no bloody adverts on it, and it's great. He's been going for quite a while. I've watched loads of his videos me on the fells, fell walking and that. But anyhow, this kind of stuff he comes up to. I mean, I was only on about that to, just mindful of this car here. I was only on about it to wife the other day. All my Bergen and everything I put up in attic, so it's probably full of bloody damp and mould now, because it gets cold up in our attic. She said, will you ever use? I said, I don't think so. I don't think I'm ever going to use it again. I said, what's the bloody point? I said, I used to do these videos. I said, I only did a couple of overnight wild camps on film and that. I said, but I'd do them, I'd trek all the way up a bloody mountain and you'd just spend half the time trying to get camera footage.
First exit, A7.
Trying to get footage for a video. You couldn't sleep proper all night. The wind was horrendous, howling and bloody, you know, you couldn't sleep proper all night. So you'd get up in the morning after about 2 hours sleep, just mindful, just rolling down here
Go around the roundabout, first exit.
You couldn't sleep proper all night. You'd probably get about 2 hours sleep. You'd be up first thing in the morning, crack straight on, mirrors, there is a car coming from our right hand side. You'd crack straight on again, get back down, bray on all the way home, spent rest of the day editing a video, and that's like, right. And you end up having to watch your own video back to see where you've been, because you've not took a blind bit of notice. Whilst you were up there, you were more interested in filming, do you know what I mean? So, no, I don't think I'll ever do it again, is the answer to that. So mirrors, we're just dropping down into Hawick now. As I say, when I came out of Hawick before, I didn't come up this road, I turned right. When you come down past the Asda, you take the third exit down past the Asda and you go down towards the town centre again and swing a left through past Morrison's and whatnot. And I ended up taking that road, me to Kelso. And I think both roads lead into one eventually, they're both as broad as long, but the one I took seemed to take me a little bit longer. Had I gone back up that way, up the A7, I think it would have been better for me, I really do. Just backing right off here now. There's a 30. Surprised it's not a 20, but it's not yet anyway, it is when we get in towards centre. Just back him off here, we're just going to come round this traffic, we'll just put a signal on, just round this parked car. I don't think anyone's going to back off and let us go, so we'll just put handbrake on. We do need to cross this white line, so mirrors, just wait till this last one's come past us, that's us out. Temporary roadworks out and about, and in with a shout. Here we are, we're just coming into a 20 now. Lights are still on green, we're through. Lights are just changing now, so if these cars don't get
after 300 yards, go around the roundabout, third exit, A7, Commercial Road.
So mirrors, just come over towards this white line. It's going to start getting tighter now as it draws us in. Yeah, we're going to turn right at this roundabout in a minute, and I went the other way, I ended up going towards on the A698 towards Kelso and Jedburgh. That's the way I turn. So we're going to go right here.
Go around the roundabout, third exit, A7, Commercial Road.
Just mindful, tractors coming out. And traffic. Mindful of anything wanting to try and cheekily squeeze round us. We're out. Yeah, I come round this roundabout here and I ended up taking the second exit, which was down there towards Kelso on the A698 in Jedburgh. I mean, they both fetched me round eventually to where I needed to be, but I think the way I went this morning was just that little bit longer, I really do. But it was perfectly doable, and it looked good on the maps, but I really do think I should have gone up through Selkirk, I don't know, but anyway, we got there, no bother, so. All this is brand new, all this wall and whatnot. All this road were closed off a while ago. You couldn't come through. You had to go through Hawick town centre itself. And I did it actually. I did it on a video, but again, that was on the old channel. I really am bloody annoyed now that I deleted that channel, because a couple of months later, I ended up deleting the company. I ended up moving on, didn't I, to what I'm doing now. And I had some pretty good videos, if I do say so myself, on that channel. But it is what it is. We start again. We're starting all over again on this one, and I'm happy with the way this one's going so far. So, some mirrors just coming out over white line. We're already sticking out anyway. No need to put a signal on. We'll just crack on. We're not on our test. We're not on our driving test, by the way. So I'm not trying to do these videos as if I'm on my driving test and trying to get people past the test. As I've said previously, I am no expert. You know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes I drive with one hand. When the truck's empty, sometimes I drive with one hand when I'm coming round places like this, you know what I mean? Just to, you know, as I'm talking and I'm talking with my hands and that. So just mirrors here now, 2 hands on. Just back him off because we do tighten here now. This was temporary lights this morning. Just back him off again because we've got to go around this van and whatnot. Just mindful with that little car's going. Watching trailer coming round. Signals on because we're going right at these roundabout mirrors.
Go around the roundabout, second exit.
Yeah, they had temporary traffic lights on here this morning because there was a truck unloading. There was a low loader unloading something up that back alley. So just mindful here. There's another truck tipping. He's doing a delivery. Just nicely round within our own line now, just minding our own business in our own lane. And anyway, so sometimes I'll drive with one hand and that, you know, when I'm coming
Road for 28
at low
miles.
speed. I don't do it when I'm going dead fast, right? But you know, I've had people criticise us, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You'd fail your test for that, you know. I've passed my fucking test. Do you know what I mean? I've passed my test a long time ago, like 4 years ago. So I'm not doing these videos to try and educate or be the big I am and the big guru. Do you know what I mean? It's if some people are taking it the wrong way if they're seeing that's what I'm trying to do. I do understand that people what's going for the test will find some of these videos interesting and can pick up some tips, and if that helps anyone, then I'm all for that. But I am no expert. I'm never going to try and be an expert, because when you do that, you're setting yourself up for criticism and failure, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? There's that many bored idiots on YouTube what just want to try and bring you down because their own lives are pathetic and miserable. So I can't be asked to engaging with any of that shit. I really can't. But if you do see these videos and you take something out of them, then I'm all for that. Thank you very much. The more the merrier. But I'm never going to post them up as if I'm some bloody expert and say, watch me, because I'm on, you know, this is what you need to do to pass your test. This is bollocks. If you follow my driving to the letter to pass your test, you'd fail, because sometimes I do drive with one hand like this when I'm talking and I'm trying to articulate myself as we come out of that 20 now into a 50 mile an hour of mirrors. Road does tighten a little bit here. We're just mindful that there is some brick walls and gubbins and whatnot on our left hand side, some mirrors. Can't quite see what's coming. There is a van here now, followed by a car, mirrors, and another little van, mirrors as it comes through. So no, don't try and follow me letter for letter with my driving style, you will fail your bloody test. Just come over towards that white line now, that's why that went off, because I don't want to come too close to this curb here and just rattle that wall with my trailer, do you know what I mean? Yeah, if you follow my driving style to the letter, you'll fail your test, because I do loads of things wrong, I really do. But, you know, the gist of it, 99% of it's there. Mirrors just coming up, temporary traffic lights which are on red. I'm going to hold back just short here. I don't want to pull right up to red light because we'll never get round. So we'll just hold it back short, mirrors. Anyway, that was Hawick. Did you enjoy it? You can get right through the town centre, like I say, and I have done it in a Scania R450, towing a 15'8" high Jenkins trailer, walking floor, fully loaded from a chipper job, with about 27 tonne of wood chip on his back. Probably about half a tonne over what I should have been as well, but there's no scales on site, and when you come out of sight it really just starts creeping up scales, so I was about 44.5 tonne I think that day. Can't be helped. Right top paperwork, no weighbridge on site, loaded on uneven ground, it was what it was. It was a long time, it was a while ago that. I wish I still had the video, because it was on video, it was a good video actually that, I enjoyed it. Going through town centre itself, because that road was blocked off. Like I said, they were building that wall, so you had to divert and go through town centre. It was pretty cool. Some mirrors. Must be break time, because not one of these lads are on a shovel doing any work. They're all sat down spooking on phones and having crack and texting women and telling lies, and, you know what I mean? They're all Concord. They're all checking in with BA to see what the latest technicians' advice is, because they're all Concord pilots. Them men, when they turn out, and I was alright. They don't work out roads. They're all Concord pilots and 747 trainees at BA. You know what I mean? Mirrors, brain surgeons, right. All that carry on, all that class of tackle. That knows. Bread, don't die. I can rumba, baby. I can rumba. Rumba can ride. It's a beautiful time to be alive and kicking. 2023. Every year it's good to be alive. For a long time need. Make the most of life while you can, I say. I'm quite surprised I've not been sent into that sawmill down at Buller. Like, it was probably about 40 minutes down the road from where I took before. I'm not complaining. I'm quite happy to run over here now for a trailer swap. Pick one up for Cambridge. Fine by me. I don't get enough distance at the minute on this job, so when I get a long distance run like here to Cambridge, I'm all for it. Mirrors, just mindful. Road tightens coming over the bridge. Truck coming towards us. Mirrors as we come through. Mirrors as it comes past. Progress. Yeah, I'm all for the long distance, me, like. I really am. Land's End to John O'Groats would do me, I can tell you. That would do me. I've never been to John O'Groats. I've been to Land's End. I once did a video, actually, that's long gone as well. I once did a video going to Land's End in a Ford Escort. Well, it turned out to be a set of videos. It was about 5 or 6 videos in total. I used to have a Ford Escort, just a 1.4 petrol. Just a box standard 1.4 litre blue Ford Escort P-Reg. It was a cracking car. It was a really good car. It was in good nick. I had to have a few jobs done when I first got it, head gasket and whatnot, and I had timing belt done and sorted. It was a brilliant car, and it passed it. I put it through its MOT, and as a celebration, I'd not do one particular. I were off work this week, and I'd not do. So I decided to have a ride from Wigan to Land's End, as you do, and I did a series of videos for YouTube. This was back in about 2012. I was pretty new at YouTube then, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's about 11 years ago. I was pretty new at YouTube. I'd not been doing it that long, and I just decided to do a set of videos, and it was just me all the way down to Land's End, just recording myself at various stages, and it was quite an interesting series of videos. That actually, looking back, but I don't know where they are. I think I may still have them on my laptop somewhere, on an old laptop, on an old hard drive. Yeah, 1.4 Ford Escort. It absolutely fucking smashed it all the way down to Land's End, that car. It nailed it. It was brilliant. It was a good car. The only reason I got rid of that car, for P-Reg, it only had 96,000 miles on it when I got rid of it. And I got rid of it in, I think it was 2014 or 15. It was 2015 I got rid of that car. The only reason I got rid of it is it was costing too much for welding underneath, because originally I'd had a welding job done and the lad hadn't sealed it off. He'd just welded a patch on it, but he hadn't sealed it off at the other end, and water kept going inside apparently, so then I needed a bigger patch on it, more welding, and it just led to more rust. It was just getting to that stage where it was costing too much for welding on it, so I got rid. Well, that was a beautiful car, that. I fucking love that car, mate. It was a good one. Didn't cost me so much, I didn't pay that much for it. It was what a great car that was. Just a box standard 1.4 petrol, no thrills. It was a cracking car, that. I loved it. Probably one of the best cars I've ever had, that. And I've also had another Ford Escort before that. I had a Ford Escort, a 1.8 a long while ago. I had a 1.8 turbo diesel Ford Escort on a W reg, and that was a nippy little car. I had that for a while, then I ended up getting rid of that, and I bought a Land Rover Freelander. I traded the Ford Escort in for it, and I bought that and that Freelander was a load of shit. It was a bag of shite. Absolute waste of time. Wish I hadn't got rid of it for that Escort. Then from that, I ended up getting another Ford Escort, that 1.4 petrol. Probably turned out to be possibly the best car I've ever had. One of the best cars I've ever had. From there, I got a Volkswagen Golf, an S-Reg. And that was a cracking car. I had that for a good few years as well. That was a brilliant car, that Golf. Yeah, I've had a few different old cars. What's been good ones. Well, that 1.4, the 1.8 turbo diesel was a good car. That was a cracking car. But the 1.4 petrol was probably one of the best cars, if not the best car I've ever had. And I've had a few different motors since I was a lad. But yeah, that just a box standard Ford Escort, fucking brilliant. I only wish I'd have got that from new. I'd have painted it with like a hammerite, just mirrors as this little van comes past me. If I'd have got that from new, because I once bought a long time ago, before I went to Australia, I once bought a J-Reg Cavalier. J-Reg Vauxhall Cavalier. I think it was 2000 and it would have been 2003. I think it was, yeah. 2003. I bought a J-Reg Vauxhall Cavalier, a red one, a 1.8, off a fella what lived on an estate where my mum lived in Higher Ends. I bought it off him, and he'd painted it underneath with like a fucking hammerite. It was like a hammerite type of paint, and everything was rock solid. No matter however they hit it, how many times they hit it with a hammer when it was on MOTs, you couldn't find any fault with it. It was perfect. It fucking sailed through every MOT, and I had that for a while as well. I had that for a few years. I probably mentioned it on a previous video. I ended up giving it to my auntie because she'd split up with a fella. He's now her husband. She'd split up with a fella and she'd moved out and left him, and she had fuck all. So for help her out, I was getting a new car. I ended up getting a Vauxhall Astra, a 1.6, and I ended up giving that to my auntie. I felt sorry for her, so I give her a fucking car. Rather than sell it, I could have got a few £100 for it. Rather than sell it, I give it to my auntie. Fucking 3 weeks later, I was at a pub I was outside of a pub in Inns. I think I was outside of Fox or something in Inns. And who's coming down? Only her fella. She getting back with him, decided to give him car, because she kept their car then, what they had between them. She used her car, and he started using it for work. Well, he was a plasterer. So within no time, it was full of shite. And I think he ended up blowing fucking engine up on it, and he just scrapped it. But they never said to us, do you want your car back? We're back together now, would you like your car back? Or, do you know what, do you want any money for this? Nah, with no thanks, kiss me arse and nothing. So I'm like, you know what, fuck you. Won't do that again. Rennie Road, that was a long time ago now, but yeah, that was a good car as well. It was. So mirrors, we're coming into a bit more showery rain, I think, now. You see the rain now, it's flashing an ankle at the weekend again. So we're 14 miles off Langholm. So we'll take you through Langholm, then we'll stop this video, we'll pull up. call it a day. And I'll crack on to Silloth and get on with the rest of my day. I don't know where we're going to stay tonight. Somewhere down the A1, I'd say. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems very, very quiet today. No matter where we've been, the roads just seem quiet. I don't know whether it's because Wimbledon's started today and everyone's queuing up for tickets on Murray Mound or Henman Hill or Tufnell's fucking Tift or something, I don't know. But it just seems quiet. Oh, there's a sheep going up Abbey Lamb. Why they've gone over there, I don't know, but it's a bit of a dangerous bloody predicament that they're going to find themselves in now. Oh, Christ bless them. A sheep and a babby lamb right outside it. They must have come across the road. Not side at rocks, do you? That sheep gets battered, that lamb's going to as well. That sheep gets hit by car, so that lamb's going to also. So mirrors, there is a pickup kind of 4x4 type vehicle, tickling flange, mirrors. Lane departure warning's a bit annoying, but it's a tight road. You've only got to touch the white line on either side and it'll go off. It can be annoying, but like I said to you on the previous video, there's no point turning it off because it's there for a reason, it's there for your safety, innit? Do you know what I mean? So, because if you end up turning it off and you're on the bloody motorway and you start nodding off and falling asleep, that's like a rumble strip, it'll wake you up. It is there for a reason, so there's no point turning it off. Mirrors, just mindful because there is little dikes and some popping up either side of this on our left hand side here, passenger side. Every now and again there's little dikes and little things what can pull you in, so we're just mindful with truck and trailer that we don't end up in one of them. Mirrors, here comes this pickup thing now. Let it go past us, getting out of there. Neon security. Road conditions are now getting wet because it's raining. I said we'd see a bit of it as we come through cloud, didn't I? Conditions are now getting pretty wet. We're going to get rain all the way through this now, all the way towards, I'd say all the way towards Langholm. We're just dropping right down through this valley here, whatever it is. I could see looking over before, you could see these clouds what we're now under. I could see them on my left hand side before a few miles away, and it just looked like they were full of rain, so we're now coming through the same cloud. Mindful. Road tightens round at the bottom. There is a sign out for a zebra. Just coming into Dumfries and Galloway now. Welcome to it. The rain's just easing off a little bit. We'll still get some showers. All this hillside here, all this fella's been felled, which is quite fascinating when you think about it. All them trees have been planted all the way up. It's quite an achievement. There is a machine on top still ripping them out. So all that's been felled, all the rest of it will be felled. All these trees here are all they're all grown purposely for felling and using as. I think a lot of them are used for biomass and stuff, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? But they're all grown for that purpose. They're all about ready to be felled now. But the men who's planted all them will either long since been retired or dead, because them have been in a while. They will have been in a good few years now to get them up to scratch like. So all that would have been planted years ago by hand, and the previous ones before that would have been felled by hand as well. There'd been no modern technology like we have today. Probably dragged down on a pulley system by a horse and cart as well. Or horsepower, literally. Modern technology is great, but it has a lot to be grateful for. Because before modern technology and trucks and fancy gadgets, jigglies and hula-ha's and all things this, that and t'other, it would have just been a few men with saws and horses and a pulley system and ropes and a pulley wheel, dragging all bloody logs down from top to bloody bottom, hauling them all down, and, do you know what I mean? Hauling stuff to and fro like horse and carriage, just mirrors, mindful, just tight, zebras out, can't quite see what's coming round, so mirrors, just mindful, can't see now, car coming towards us, mirrors, mindful again, just mindful of these barriers on left hand side, just want to come round nicely within our lane and not cause any mind. Twilight zone now with this rain, it's still pissing it down, but it's like not enough to put windscreen wipers on full. It's just that annoying little bit, you see. Beautiful shot of sunshine and darkness, light at the top of that fell there on that valley. Looks alright, doesn't it? Can you see it? Can you see that? Can you see it? Right, next on Six Music, we've got a great track by Sunshine on the Valley. They're later going on tour with Tommy Tupper's Tickle Your Fancy. 2 tracks to play by them a little bit later on, and yeah, well, let's start off right now. A little bit of Mind the Gap, there's a zigzag S-bend ahead, Zebra's showing. This is a good one by the Mirrors. Lights are on green. Mirrors. So for all it wanted past with that pickup van before, it's got nowhere because we're now catching it. Mirrors. Yeah, them sheep must have come over from one side of bloody road before to the other. It was just a sheep and a little barlam wheel. Like, oh, you poor little bastard. I hope you can get back. I hope you can get yourself sorted, because there was no grass on that rock for it to graze on. So, it'll have been they've been in worse. You know what I mean? They've been in worse situations. I remember me at Wharf once going over Hawkshead in Lake District, not Hawkshead, sorry. To the other side of Shap there, where Uncle Monty's house is, there's a, I can't mind that bloody name for it. Wet Sleddle, that's it, Wet Sleddle. And you keep going up that fell, it takes you to that bloody reservoir, what always dries up every year, and people keep going on about it. I can't mind what that's called either. Anyway. Well, I remember this little barlam had got through a fence and he couldn't get back through, and it had lost its mum. So it was crying, and mother was crying for it, but the mother didn't want to leave its other 2 lambs. I think it had 3. It had 3 lambs, yeah. The mother didn't want to leave the other 2, so it was crying. The mother was torn between, do I wait for it or do I go and see to them? Do I wait for it? Anyway, the mother ended up fucking it off, basically, just left it and went with other 2 because 2 was more important than 1. And it must have gone about half a mile away, mother, with these 2 other little lambs. And I jumped over the fence and I managed to corner it. It wouldn't come near me at first. And I managed to corner it and get it over, and I hoid it over this bloody fence. It didn't even say thanks and kiss me arse and off, it just went charging off like 1,000 gazelles to its mum. But it got back to its mum, so everything were alright, you know what I mean? Never turned around and said thank you or anything, the ungrateful little bastard. But I suppose they don't, they're not gonna do, are they? You know what I mean? It's just a little lamb, isn't it? Doesn't know any different. Bless it. I suppose it would have just been left, you know. I think that sheep would have was just leaving it. Unless somebody else had come along and helped it, that sheep had just, like me, so that sheep had just left it. It abandoned it for going and see to the other 2. It's like, well, why lose all 3 when I've got 3 of them? This one's been a little pig and not done as it was told, not done as it was told. I've now got t'other 2 what could be in lumber. If I don't go and see to them, fuck him, I'll go and see to these 2. Do you know what I mean? So it had pretty much abandoned it, right? And no doubt the little bastard would have gotten in trouble in next field, you know what I mean? But I'd gone by then, so I weren't bothered. But it's nature, it's what happens, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They are wild animals at the end of the day. Mirrors, signs out for temporary lights, and I can just see them round this corner, they're on red. Mirrors. I don't know if I've made that coffee a little bit stronger. It's the fact I've not had a cigarette for coming on 14 hours now, so I can taste everything. But this coffee tastes very strong. I'm not quite right. It tastes crap, to be honest. It's just an ordinary jar of Nescafe. I've never been a particular coffee connoisseur, you know. Hopefully this club biscuit will taste scrum-diddly bloody umptious too. And yeah, you don't have to say you'd fail your test for that if you was eating a bloody club biscuit on your test. I passed my test. I'm not going for my test, you know what I mean? That's been and gone. A good while ago. Well, long enough ago anyway. Mirrors like to change it. Mindful coming out wide here. Lights are just changing, but we're committed. We've gone through. We was committed then. I weren't hanging back. If I'd have hung back then and blocked the road, whatever's coming from the other side, if it's a big wagon, would have struggled to get through. And then there would have been a situation where both lights are changing at once and nobody's got through. With more than enough time to get through here. Their lights are still on red. Still on red. Their lights are just changing to green now. Mirrors, we bend round at the bottom. There is a wagon coming towards us. I've already seen it coming round through trees. Don't try and eat chocolate biscuits whilst you're driving. It was all over your frigging thumb and fingers. Mirrors as the wagon comes through. Just mirrors, road just tight going on this bridge. No bother. Road conditions drying out now. We've come out of this rain, but there is still Some dark grey clouds up ahead, so we're expecting more shower patches as the day goes on. Mirrors. Escdale Muir. Eskdale Muir. 12 mile up that way up that bloody track road through a fell. That might be an interesting place to go to, but we'd never get up in this. So we are slowly now and steadily away becoming at one with this truck. It does drive pretty spot on in a straight line going forwards, this truck. It's a pleasure to drive it. It really is nice. The reversing's a lot better on it now than what it was when I first got it. So I'm beginning to become at one with this truck. It will get to a stage where it'll feel weird if I jump back in a Scania now, but given a choice, I would much rather have a Scania. This truck is a lot better to drive going forwards than a Scania. I think it handles very well. Well, you know, it's not as good as a Scania, it's not. It's a lot more comfortable inside, and the bed's more comfortable, and there's more room to stand up and manoeuvre about and that. But it will never be as good as a Scania, driving wise. It's got a lot more power in it than the Scania, but this is a 530, the Scania I had was a 450, so it's always going to be more powerful, this one. But given the choice, I'd go back to the Scania 450 any day of the week. Mirrors, I think it's going to start raining again. It's very wet here on roads. It has been hammering it down, you can tell. We are coming back into cloud again now, back into dark grey cloud, so we're expecting it heavens up and it mist down again. We're not far off Langholm now. We'll go through Langholm, out the other side, we'll stop. Pull up and we'll stop this video and I'll crack on then. Mindful. Traffic in this lay-by, including that pickup what passed us before, that's it, pulled up there. Mindful, mirrors as the bus comes past us. Here comes Lorraine again. Just mindful, mirrors, road tightens, there are temporary lights out here as we go over this bridge. Traffic lights are out at the other side of it. They are on green at the moment, our side, but I'm expecting them to change to red before we get there. So mindful, mirrors. We may just get away with it. Yeah, it's just changed to red. We can't justify going through there. There will be traffic the other side waiting to come through, so we'll just pull it shy just here. I always get a feeling about lights when they're going to change. Some mirrors. There's no behind us. Well, there's a red car just coming up close to us now. Just coming up along back of us now. Followed by another one. mirrors, lights are changing. This is used water. So mirrors tightens as we come round. However, the lights will be on red at the other side, so no bother. There is a permanent set of traffic lights here, but they're obviously knackered or being fixed, so they've just put these temporaries up, which are all good and well, but they're unmanned, so I assume they run on solar power or something, I don't know, or batteries, and somebody will have to come and fettle them every now and again when they malfunction and go wrong. Other than that, they're just unmanned and left to their own devices. Just coming into Langholm now, some mirrors. Just get a bit tight going through Langholm. Not as tight as the other week when I come through, because there was temporary roadworks on through the town centre. Speaking of Cavaliers, there's an old Cavalier there, so you don't see many of them about. Beautiful car, the Cavalier. I really liked them. I like the really old Cavaliers, but you just get the Cavalier SRIs. They were good ones, like the A, B, C and D reg ones. I think they stopped them at about E reg or something like that, and then we started getting into just mirrors, just mindful. Back him off a touch, because this Arctic's towing a trailer as well. It's the circuses. I think Papa Lazaru's about saying, go and put a poster up in that shop. Tell them the circus is in town, you know. So they are pulling extra bits. There's more of them here, see. The circus or the fur or something. Just mindful, because they're all really extra long loads. Just backing him off a touch here. Yeah, they're like an Arctic, and then it's pulling a trailer as well. You know, it's like an Arctic and a half. So you've just got to be mindful when they're coming round the corner at you. So just mirrors. We do start tightening now as we come through Langholm. There used to be a Royal Bank of Scotland, I think, no, was it a Royal Bank of Scotland or a Barclays on the left? I used to clean windows on it, just mindful, mirrors. Two caravans pushing cars. Oh, mirrors. Yeah, there was one here, I think it was a Barclays Bank, you know, it was just on the left here. It's either Barclays or Royal Bank of Scotland. And I used to clean the windows on it before I started driving wagons. I don't know what it is now, it looks like a restaurant or something. Well, that was definitely where the bank was, it was a Barclays. I think it was a Barclays, you know, or a Royal Bank of Scotland. Mirrors. Just starts tightening here. We've got to give way to oncoming vehicles, so mirrors will just back him off. The line's fading, but there is a line for us to wait here. However, there's nothing coming. We're straight out. We're committed now. Blue car's just showing itself, but it's alright, we're committed. We're out. There was nothing coming initially. Mirrors. Just mindful, traffic's backing off for us, just tickling through. This is where we're going to come unstuck shortly. Traffic's holding off for us now, van's stopped. Just wave to the van, he's not paying attention, I think he's on his phone. Wave to the old man, and the bloody blah. Mirrors. That was Langholm. Blink and you'll miss it. So just mindful, road tightens again round here. We come down a bit of a tight stretch, and then we take a nice tight right hander over another bridge, and then that's then the road out of Scotland, which will take us back up through towards Canterbury or Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then we'll end up coming in through Longtown. Longtown, lad. Alright, lads, going down to Longtown, are you? Alright, I'm just having a bifter, lad. Yeah, I'm just in the van, lad, having a bifter. Why are you asking me that, lad? I don't know. I'm just having a bifter in Longtown, lad. I do apologise if you're from Pontypool in Wales, boy. Oh, that was a dreadful rendition of your accent, lad, wasn't it, eh? So, minutes. Reduce speed now, signs out for S-bend, lights are there, road does tighten as we go right over a bridge, some mirrors, just backing him off. We're going right over this bridge, A7, over a lovely arch bridge in the river. beautiful view, picturesque, stunning. Just back him off here, just in case there's any wagons coming round. I always hold it back. I know there's a car there in front of me, and if there is a wagon taking a nice wide swing, trust me, that X-Trail will take the pummeling before we do. But if we just keep it back here, just in case that X-Trail, that car in front, does get a good pummeling and a right pasting, then it's not going to run into us, and we can still get round all involved. Mirrors, just mindful now, road does tighten going over this bridge, so just mirrors as we come out, mirrors as we come round, nicely within our line. Beautiful picturesque scenery running up the river there with rain and no doubt salmon turning and stuff like that, but pity you couldn't see it. I could. Mirrors. So that was Langholm then. Like I say, blink and you'll miss it. So we'll start looking now for somewhere to put him in. Rain's getting heavier again now. Just underneath the trees. Maybe it's the rain outside or the wetness on the trees. I don't know. But we're 10 miles off Langholm and 5 miles... Longtown even. Langholm. 10 miles off Longtown and 5 miles off Canterbury. Or Kenobi, in your posh. So we're right on the borders now between Scotland and England. To me, they all look bloody same, but everywhere looks the same to me. But you can see why there would have been a lot of trouble in some of these villages and towns, wouldn't you, on the borders years ago with England and Scotland and that like. I think the road to Edinburgh on the A702 is a cracker. That's a good run. I didn't pull in that lay-by there, it's a bit of a sliver, a little bit thin for my liking, chap. So we keep going up here, there's a big lay-by, comes round at top end on a bend. We'll pull in that one, set her out. Same pickup van what's stopped before. It's the second time he's now passed us. Right, next big lay-by we're putting him in and then we set her out today. Alright. Happy with that, pal? Yeah. It doesn't know what it wants to do. It's like, just if you're going to rain, give us a good splattering, you know what I mean? Don't give us this little showery crap. It's no good to man over the beast. It's no good to bloody nobody. If you're going to rain, put some down proper. Hopefully this is a bigger lay-by actually, and if it is the one I'm thinking of, we'll put him in and we'll set her out of it. Because I don't know about you, but I'm sick of hearing the sound of my own voice. Right, mirrors. This is not the same lay-by, but it'll do. Just put him in here. Right, Paul, that's it from me for today. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I've said to you on a few previous occasions now, I am no expert. Do not follow me to the letter with regards driving style, because you'll end up failing your test. I've never tried to be an expert. I never will try to be an expert. Every day is a school day. But if you can pick something up from these videos, then I'm happy with that and all for it. But you know what I mean? But there you go. Right, thanks very much. I've been your old mate Borothea, and once again, you, my friend, have been beautiful. But for now, I'm out of here. I'm going to crack on with the rest of my day, go and load at Silla for Cambridge. Join us again. Thanks a lot. Ta-ra.